Hi, how are you doing? This is Darrell Klassen, as you know. I hope things are going well for you. I'm going to talk this morning or today with you a little bit about the driver. Now, as you know, I don't do that very often. The reason for that really is I have such a different concept about the driver than most people do. Yes, I used to hit the driver very, very long when I was younger and played a lot and practiced. But like most touring professionals, I didn't hit it straight. I got it to land where I wanted to land, but I didn't try to hit it straight. Now you need to think about that one for a couple of moments because there's a huge difference. Most of you are wanting to hit the golf ball straight for all kinds of different reasons that really don't make sense. You've just heard someone talk about it and you've bought into it. For instance, a straight ball goes farther than a slice. Well, there's some truth in that, but if you're hitting your driver, as an example, if you're hitting your driver around 200 yards and you're slicing it maybe 20 yards, you're probably not looking at more than 4, 5, 6 yards difference if the ball stayed straight in your distance. I mean, it's not like if you hit it straight, you're adding 30 or 40 or 50 yards to your tee shot. The number one thing that's most important in my thinking, and always was when I played, is I've got to find a way to keep my driver in play. I've got to have it where I can find the golf ball. I don't want it buried in the trees or in the 4-inch rough. I want it somewhere where I can play my shot. Now, as a result, well, if you've ever watched any of the touring pros don't hit the ball straight. At least not off the tee. They might hit a pitching wedge straight, or a sand wedge, but they don't hit most of their shots straight. They're curving the golf ball one way or the other. If you really go to a tour event and watch the tour players, you'll see that they start their tee shot down one side or the other and work it back into the golf course and into the fairway. And yet all of you are dead set. You know, golfers in general are dead set on hitting the ball straight. Well, number one, I've talked about this a gazillion times, so I'm not going into all the explanation, but it's impossible to hit a ball really straight. And if you could, which no one can, you'd still have to play where there's absolutely no wind or breeze. And you can probably hear a little ding-a-ling going on here from my wind chimes. It's just very seldom a day when there's absolutely no wind. So the wind's going to move your ball around. So what we want to do in order to play good tee shots and good consistent, I'm going to say that word again and then you can say it, and I'm not trying to talk down to you, but everybody wants to be more consistent. Well, you know, a guy that slices his driver 40 yards every time he hits it, he's consistent already. He's not doing what he wants, but he's consistent. He's doing the same thing all the time. That's what's important in any shot in golf, but particularly your driver, your tee shot. The reason I say that is because, like my dad years ago, gosh, oh Friday, I learned so much from my dad when he was alive and I was a kid and everything. He sliced the ball, he could hit his ball maybe 2 to 210, and he sliced it 20 yards at minimum every time he swung the club. But he'd played a lot of sports and he wasn't stupid. He didn't try to hit it down the middle. He started it over here and let it fade into the fairway. He didn't miss many fairways because he'd always start the golf ball to the left and let it work in. I have students come see me all the time. They've done it for almost 50 years and they want to hit it straight because they're slicing. I watch them hit a ball or two and they start it pretty much down the middle and slice it into the weeds. So I say, okay, let's draw the ball. I show them how to draw the ball. They hit the ball pretty much down the middle and draw it into the weeds. And they go, now it's going the other way. I said, well, you got a problem. What's that? You're not very smart. Remember, I'm talking to them, not you. They said, what do you mean I'm not very smart? I said, the golf ball's going to curve one way or the other every time you hit it. Why not take one way most consistently that you can do over and over and over and play for it? You know, golfers don't realize, the average golfer that I've seen for all these years of teaching, they don't realize that once they stop their slice and start hitting a draw, they've got to aim it over here so it can draw in. They can't hit it down the middle and draw it. They're in the weeds. The same golfers will say to me, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hit it over there. I want to hit it there. Well, that's where it's going to stop. You're going to hit it one way or the other and bring it into the middle. That's how you play good, consistent golf. Now, if you can work it either direction, then you can start at either side, but always bring your ball toward the middle. Now, I'm going to tell you a good reason for that. Let's say a fairway is 30 yards wide, which is not, it's not real narrow, but it's not real wide either. It's not a problem. But if you've got a fairway that's 30 yards wide, and you start the ball dead smack down the middle, you've only got 15 yards on either side to air. Okay, you've got half the distance of the fairway. That narrows that rascal down. That's like shooting to a 15-yard fairway. That's crazy. If you start the ball on the edge of the fairway or just in the first cut of rough on either side on that same fairway, you've got 30 yards to bend the ball and be in the fairway and be in play. Huge, huge difference. Touring pros know that. That's why they end up in the fairway most of the time. Because they play for the ball that's going to curve. Bubba Watson hits, as a lefty, he hits this huge big slice. He doesn't hit it down the middle and put it out in the weeds. Now he does some, he's not that accurate. But he hits the ball over here and slices it back toward the fairway. Lee Trevino used to do the same thing. Bruce Litsky, a great player, he was a fine player. Litsky, I mean, his driver didn't even know left existed. It always sliced. But Litsky started everything over here and let it curve to the center. All I'm telling you, golfers, if you want to become more consistent off the tee, you've got to learn how to curve the ball one way or the other and begin to play for it. I know you've heard this before, but you got to get it. Got to get it, sir. Got to get it. It's really, or lady, it's really important. Stop forcing yourself to try to do something that you can't do. Okay? Play it down the side and bring it in. If you'll do that, you'll start becoming a way happier golfer because you'll hit more balls in the fairway, you'll be in play, start to get rid of eliminate the penalty strokes. You'll like the results. All right, have a good day. Appreciate you taking a minute or two to be with me. Thanks.